The evaluation gives you an opportunity to demonstrate your team skills. Our evaluators will guide you through a series of exercises that show the connection you share with your dog and their willingness to follow your cues. The evaluation includes a simulation of conditions that may be encountered while on a visit in the community. This role-play simulation will determine whether your team has the ability and interpersonal skills to volunteer as a hand and paw therapy team. Unlike an obedience competition, you are encouraged to communicate with your dog, offering reassurance and support during the entire evaluation. The first exercise is management in a crowd or unpredictable situation. While you're waiting in the lobby for your evaluation, you should be able to manage your dog properly in the waiting area. There will be people coming and going that may stop to greet you and your dog. The second exercise is attention to instructions. We will send you a detailed email with a list of items you need to bring to the evaluation. When you arrive, we will ask you for the following items. Please bring a copy of your dog's current rabies vaccination and completed health screening from your veterinarian, a 4-foot leash, the appropriate collar or harness that you trained in, a soft brush, the completed handler questionnaire you received in the email, and treats. And gentle reminder, treats cannot be used as a motivator during the exercise. Next, you will meet our evaluators. The evaluator will invite you and your dog to explore the testing area. This is an opportunity for your dog to sniff the premises and get comfortable with their surroundings. This exercise helps the evaluator and your team to become more familiar with each other. The fourth exercise is meeting a friendly stranger and accepting petting. You and the evaluator will greet one another by shaking hands and exchanging pleasantries. The evaluator will ask to pet your dog and then walk around the two of you. During this time, your dog may change position, but must remain at your side and neither jump on or shy away from the evaluator. This exercise demonstrates that as a team, you greet strangers in a friendly and relaxed manner. You should have suitable control for visits, and your dog enjoys being petted. Appearance and grooming. Next, the evaluator will inspect your dog's eyes, ears, coat, and paws. Then the evaluator will lightly brush your dog with the soft brush you provided. This exercise demonstrates that your dog is clean and ready for visits, and that your dog welcomes being handled, even by a stranger. This also demonstrates your willingness as a handler to properly bathe and groom your dog for visits. Out for a walk. In this exercise, you and your dog will go for a walk on the course marked on the floor. This walk will include right and left turns as well as stopping. Our evaluators will guide you through this process. Your dog should not pull forward or back on the leash while walking. Walking through a crowd. Next, we will simulate walking in a busy hallway. Our assistants will walk alongside, in front, and behind you to mimic a busy hospital facility with medical equipment. This exercise demonstrates you can move effortlessly through high-traffic areas while engaging the public and reassuring and supporting your dog. Reaction to distractions. In this exercise, our evaluator will ask that you walk your dog across the room. An assistant will drop a noisy item while you're walking. Your dog can express interest but should not panic, bark, or show aggression. You should be aware of your dog's response and give praise, reassurance, and encouragement as needed. The next set of exercises demonstrates obedience skills that you will incorporate into your visits at facilities. Sit on cue. You will ask your dog to sit with a verbal command or hand signal. Your dog should remain seated until the evaluator gives the cue to release. Down on cue. You will ask your dog to lie down with a verbal command or hand signal. Your dog should remain in the down position until the evaluator gives the cue to release. The next 2 exercises demonstrate your dog is responsive to your requests and you have a strong relationship. Stay in place. In this exercise, the evaluator will give you a long leash. You will be asked to replace your short leash with this longer leash. Please make sure the longer leash is securely fastened before you remove your forefoot leash. You will then ask your dog to stay, leaving him or her in the sit or down position. You will walk away with your back to your dog, then stop at the blue line on the floor. The evaluator will cue you to return to your dog. Come when called. With your dog seated in a down position, the evaluator will ask to pet your dog. While still using the long leash, you will leave your dog and walk away while the evaluator continues to pet your dog. The evaluator will stop petting your dog and ask you to call your dog to you. Meeting another dog. In this exercise, another handler and their dog will enter the room. This exercise is important as you may encounter another non-therapy team in a facility. Your dog should not vocalize, attempt to jump, lunge, or show any aggressive behavior to the other team. The evaluators will assess how you control your dog while maintaining a relaxed leash. In the first step, a handler and their dog will enter the room. A few moments will be given to allow each dog to acclimate. The evaluator will instruct the other team to take their place on the opposite side of the room from you. You and your dog will walk past the therapy team and briefly pause to greet one another. Remember to focus on your dog to ensure they don't cross in front or behind you to greet the other team. The next set of exercises are called Going Visiting and include role-playing that simulates common visit situations. First is an overall exam. The evaluator will examine your dog's ears, tail, feet, and teeth. We want to make sure your dog has a positive response to different types of physical handling like petting and welcomes physical contact by others. Exuberant and Clumsy petting. This exercise demonstrates your dog will tolerate clumsy petting. The evaluator will talk to your dog in low and high-pitched tones while petting and clapping their hands. Restraining Hug. The evaluator will now give your dog a big bear hug. Continue to encourage your dog and support them so they are comfortable while being hugged. Role play with wheelchair. This exercise demonstrates that your team will exhibit confidence and skill when interacting with a person using a wheelchair. An assistant will roll a wheelchair towards you and your dog, and you will be instructed to interact with the assistant. When you approach the assistant in the wheelchair, make sure to ask if they would like to visit with you and your dog. Position yourself at eye level while engaging with the assistant. We will have a chair available if it's more comfortable for you to visit while seated. Make sure your dog is properly positioned to be petted. Be aware of your dog's feet and tail around the wheelchair. The evaluator will observe the interaction to ensure your dog enjoys the attention and that you are confident visiting with the client. Loud yelling. While you are engaging with the assistant in the wheelchair, the evaluator will cue 2 other assistants to enter, one of whom will be using a walker. These 2 assistants will start a loud conversation, and one of the assistants will ask about your dog. You will excuse yourself from the assistant in the wheelchair before approaching the other 2 assistants. This exercise ensures your dog doesn't react to the loud group and you are comfortable making the transition from visiting the wheelchair assistant to the other group. Role play with walker. The assistant with the walker will ask for a visit. When approaching, make sure your dog is comfortable with the walker and then visit with the assistant. Crowded petting. This exercise demonstrates that your dog will tolerate crowding and petting by several people at once. All 3 assistants will now gather around your dog and begin petting your dog. The evaluator will watch to ensure your dog responds positively to the crowd. Please support your dog with encouraging words. Remember, when other people have hands on your dog, you should too. Leave it. This exercise demonstrates how your dog should ignore foreign objects on the ground. You will guide your dog past the objects while remaining 12 to 16 inches from the items. A tempting toy and treat will be used in this exercise. You will need to maintain a loose leash with your dog responding to your verbal request to leave it. This exercise is best performed as one swift movement around the items without running. Offering a treat. The evaluator will approach with a treat in her hand and ask if she may offer it to your dog. You may decline, but if you say yes, your dog must accept the treat gently. You should always request that the treat be given in a flat, open hand. At the conclusion of the evaluation, you will be asked to wait briefly in another area. Our hand and paw evaluators will review the overall evaluation, then discuss the outcome with you. Either your team will pass, or our evaluators will suggest areas where you need more practice.